Imagine someone who has billions of dollars, could live in luxurious mansions, travel every day in private jets, dine at the most expensive restaurants in the world. But instead, this person chooses something very different. They wake up early, have a simple breakfast from McDonald's, and return every day to the same house they bought over 60 years ago. This person is Warren Buffett, one of the richest men on the planet. But what makes him such a powerful example isn't just the money he's accumulated, but how he got there. Right in the first few minutes of the video, the message is clear. You don't need to earn rivers of money to get rich. The secret lies in how you use what you already have, your salary. Yes, that same salary that often barely lasts until the end of the month. Buffett shows with his life that getting rich isn't about ostentation. It's about mindset, choices, and daily habits. He didn't start rich. He started like most people, with little money, a lot of curiosity, and iron discipline. The difference is that he saw what many don't see, that every dollar can be a seed, and these seeds, when planted wisely, grow into fruit-bearing trees in the future. And this is where it all begins. The video invites us to imagine a new reality. What if, instead of working just to pay bills, you learn to make your money work for you? Sounds too good to be true. Well, this is exactly what Buffett advocates, with simplicity, logic, and steps that anyone can follow. Even you. The question in the air is, are you ready to change your financial story? Because from now on, we'll walk together through 8 practical steps that can turn your salary into a real path to wealth. And it all starts with a decision. Here's a powerful secret, but one that almost no one practices. Before paying rent, the electricity bill, the credit card, or even the coffee at the corner, you need to pay yourself first. Sounds strange, right? After all, most people receive their salary and start paying bills as if the money had a life of its own, leaving without asking for permission. But Warren Buffett teaches us that this is the wrong order. The first person who should be paid with your salary is yourself. How do you do this in practice? Simple. As soon as the money hits your account, automatically set aside 10% for yourself. This money is not for spending, it is sacred. It's the start of your freedom. It could be savings, an investment, or even a piggy bank well hidden. The important thing is that it's separated as soon as the salary arrives, before anything else. Think with me. If you always wait for extra money at the end of the month to save, you'll end up never saving anything. Because there's always a promotion, an extra dinner, an emergency, or that impulse to buy something that seemed irresistible. And before you know it, the month is over and so is your balance. But when you pay yourself first, you're telling yourself, my financial freedom is a priority. It may seem like little at first. 10% of a modest salary doesn't seem like it will change anyone's life. But just like a plant grows little by little, this money grows too. Over time, it becomes a safety net. Later, it turns into capital for investing. And eventually, it can become the key that opens doors to a life with more choices, more peace, and more possibilities. Buffett often says, it's not how much you earn that matters, it's how much you keep. So, the question that remains is, have you paid yourself today? Imagine you're walking down a firm path, trying to reach a better place, your financial freedom. But suddenly you step on something strange. It seems firm on the outside, but it starts to sink. The more you move, the more stuck you get. This is unresolved debt, quicksand. At first, it seems small, a payment here, a used limit there, a loan to cover the credit card. But before you know it, the interest becomes an avalanche and you realize you're struggling just to survive. Your salary comes in and goes out. You don't live, you just put out fires. And the worst part, over time, the feeling of powerlessness grows. It seems like it will never work, like you'll always be in the red. But wait, there's a way out. The first step is to stop flailing and start acting with strategy. Buffett's advice is clear. Pay off the debts with the highest interest rates first, usually credit cards or overdrafts. These are the ones that drain your financial energy the most. Then create a realistic plan. It may be tough at first, but every debt paid off is a broken chain, a personal victory. And over time, you'll notice something incredible. The money that used to go to pay interest starts to accumulate. And then you can finally breathe, because in the end, getting out of debt isn't just about finances. It's about taking back control of your life. This is one of the most powerful and often ignored lessons when it comes to money. Most people believe that the path to wealth is to earn more and more. But Warren Buffett shows the opposite. The real secret is in spending less than you earn, always. It may seem too simple, but look around you. How many people do you know who earn a good salary but are always on the edge, always in debt, always stressed about money? Often, the problem isn't how much you earn. It's the lifestyle you try to maintain. Buffett, one of the richest men on the planet, has lived in the same house since 1958. He doesn't drive extravagant luxury cars. He doesn't walk around with security guards, nor does he spend fortunes on designer clothes. He knows that spending to impress is the shortest path to financial frustration. We live in a time where we're bombarded by advertising. With every scroll on your phone, a new, indispensable product. A more modern watch, a thinner TV, a phone with more cameras. And all of this is presented as a symbol of success. But the truth is, success isn't in what you show to others, it's in what you build quietly. Living below your means isn't living poorly, it's living intelligently. It's learning to say no to the unnecessary so you can say yes to what truly matters. It's understanding that you don't need a new purse every month, or to change your car every 2 years, or to take finance trips in 10 installments. You need peace of mind to sleep soundly, security for the future, freedom to make decisions without relying on others. This lifestyle requires a mindset change. It's about stopping living to maintain an appearance and starting to live to build a purpose. It's about replacing "I deserve to treat myself" with "I deserve a better future." And this change can start now. You don't need a promotion or a higher salary to live below your means. You just need to reorganize your priorities, make conscious choices, cut excesses, and remember that every dollar saved is one step closer to your independence. Think of it as a game. Each month, you spend less than you earn, you level up. And the higher you go, the more freedom you gain. Freedom to say no to a job that harms you. Freedom to start your own business. Freedom to help your family. Freedom to live with more peace and less pressure. Warren Buffett didn't get rich because he lives like a rich man. He got rich because he lived like a poor man for much longer than he needed to. And this discipline led him to a place where money is no longer a worry. Now look at your life. Is there any expense you're keeping just to please others? Any purchase that makes you look good but leaves you financially worse off? How about starting to change that today? Most people don't get poor because they don't work, but because they spend without thinking. And this is a problem more serious than it seems. We're living in a time where buying has become easy, too easy. With one click, you make a purchase. With a tap on your phone, you hire a service. In seconds, something you didn't need becomes an urgent necessity. That's exactly why Warren Buffett advocates a simple but powerful principle. Before buying anything, stop and question. It seems obvious, but it's not. Because when you're emotionally involved, logic goes out the window. That clothing item you saw in an ad, it seems like it will solve all your self-esteem problems. That new phone, it seems like it will make you more productive. But deep down, many purchases are just attempts to fill voids that money can't fix. So before you buy, ask 3 questions that can change your relationship with consumption. Do I really need this? It's not "I want" or "I'd like." It's "I need." If the answer is no, take a deep breath and walk away. Will this bring me lasting value or just temporary happiness? Many products give us pleasure in the moment, but later they're forgotten, left aside, and turn into regret. Can I live without this? If you've made it this far without this item, maybe it's not as essential as it seems. These questions act as a filter. They put you in control, instead of letting emotion or advertising pressure decide for you. Another essential piece of advice is to set a specific monthly budget for non-essential spending. Let's say you decide to spend a maximum of $300 on leisure, clothing, or anything outside the basics. When that amount is gone, it's gone. No splitting payments, no exceeding the limit. This trains your mind to understand that money is finite and that every choice has a cost. Here's a secret. The more you practice this, the more pleasure you feel in saying no. It may seem strange at first, but after a while, you realize that true power lies in choosing where your money goes and not letting it slip through your fingers. It's not about depriving yourself. It's about being clear on what truly matters. It's about buying consciously, not impulsively, because every time you refrain from spending on something unnecessary, you're saying yes to a freer, lighter, and more stable future. In the end, what Buffett proposes isn't a life without comfort. It's a life with purpose. Buying less isn't living worse. It's living smarter. And over time, that transforms into wealth, into peace, into real freedom. Imagine your financial life as a boat. Your salary is the water that comes in to make the boat move. But if there are holes in the hull, small leaks through which money escapes without you noticing, the boat will go nowhere. And the worst part, it may even sink. That's why Warren Buffett reminds us of a simple yet powerful truth. You can't control what you don't know. And here's where one of the most important steps in your journey toward financial freedom comes in. Knowing exactly where every penny of your money is going. The idea is practical. For 30 days, write down absolutely everything you spend. Yes, everything. From rent or car payments to that coffee at the bakery, the snack at the store, the 15 reais for the ride-sharing app, or the $9.90 for the streaming subscription. Most people get shocked when they do this exercise for the first time. They discover that it's not the big expenses that destroy the budget. It's the small, frequent ones. It's like every little coin you ignore today turns into an invisible chain that keeps you stuck in the same place tomorrow. And you can do this simply. You can use a notebook, a spreadsheet on your computer, or an app on your phone. The most important thing is that it's easy to refer to and that you can update it every day. After a month, look at the data honestly. See where the excesses, impulses, and unnecessary expenses are. Are you ordering delivery more often than you should? Are you subscribing to services you don't even use? Are you buying things just because they were on sale? This exercise is like turning on a flashlight in a dark room. Suddenly, you see everything clearly. And with clarity comes control, and with control comes change. Buffett doesn't say this by chance. The truly wealthy know exactly how every penny is being used. Because poorly managed money is like sand slipping through your fingers. It disappears. Well-managed money, on the other hand, multiplies over time. Controlling expenses isn't about living penny pinching. It's about living wisely. It's about looking at your bank statement and knowing exactly what's there, with no surprises. It's about stopping asking, "Where did my salary go?" and starting to decide where it will go. So, if you want to take a real step toward financial freedom, start today. Choose a way to track your expenses and commit to this habit. In no time, you'll realize that the simple act of paying attention already begins to change your decisions. When we talk about investments, people usually think about stocks, real estate, or other tangible assets. But Warren Buffett, one of the world's greatest investors, always emphasizes that the best investment you can make isn't in the financial market, it's within yourself. Your mind is the only asset no one can take from you, and that can increase in value constantly, without limits. After all, what is a wealthy person? It's not someone who has millions saved in the bank. It's someone who has the knowledge to multiply resources, make intelligent decisions, and learn from mistakes. The true secret to accumulating wealth lies in the ability to constantly learn and make decisions based on knowledge, not luck. Warren Buffett reads around 500 pages a day. Sounds like an exaggeration, right? But it's not. He invests time in learning about economics, finance, companies, and even areas that at first glance have nothing to do with the investment market. What he's doing, in fact, is accumulating valuable information that allows him to make better choices in the future. Now, you might be thinking, but I don't have time to read 500 pages a day. And that's true. Modern life is busy and time is limited. But the idea here is not to compete with Buffett. The important thing is to understand the principle. Knowledge is the key. Start with small daily doses of learning. How about dedicating 15 minutes of your day to read a book, an article, or watch a video on finances? The important thing isn't the quantity, but the consistency. Little by little, you'll acquire information that can transform your financial life. And the best part is that the knowledge you gain isn't limited to finances. Investing in your mind also means learning about human behavior, how to manage stress, how to communicate better, how to negotiate, how to make decisions under pressure. This knowledge, even the most indirect, can help you make wiser decisions in both personal and professional life. Moreover, investing in your mind has a multiplying effect. The more you learn, the more opportunities you find. You begin to see things from a different perspective, identifying ways to save, invest better, and seize opportunities that were previously unnoticed. So, the question is, what have you done to invest in yourself? What's the last book or course you've taken to expand your knowledge? The time you dedicate to learning today will be the foundation of your financial freedom tomorrow. Investing in the mind is an essential step on the journey to wealth because an informed individual makes better decisions, chooses better opportunities, and eventually finds ways to multiply what they have. While many people seek quick results, those who achieve true wealth have one thing in common: a long-term vision. Warren Buffett is a clear example of this. He never worried about quick profits or instant success. He knew that to achieve lasting financial success, you had to think about the future and make decisions with patience and strategy. And the key to this is continuous education. True wealth doesn't come from actions you take only once, but from consistent habits of learning, reflection, and improvement. Buffett has always invested in his education and knowledge, and that reflects in his life strategy. He doesn't make financial decisions based on fads or fleeting trends. He studies, understands changes in the market, and with that, he can make more assertive and long-lasting decisions. But how can you apply this to your life? Investing in continuous education means dedicating yourself to learning constantly. It doesn't have to be something grand, but something regular. What can you do every day to become smarter financially? It can be reading an article on economics, listening to a podcast on investments, or even studying the financial market in depth. Thinking long-term is crucial. Many people make financial decisions based on what's convenient at the moment, buying that new car because it's beautiful, or spending on something that provides instant pleasure. But the secret is in focusing on the future. Ask yourself, will this purchase help me achieve my long-term goals? Will it contribute to my financial freedom? Having a long-term view means thinking not only about how to spend your money, but also about how to multiply it. If you start investing regularly and continue learning about the market, your investments will have time to grow, appreciate, and eventually yield substantial returns. And here's the crucial point: don't rush. The road to true wealth is gradual. There is no magic formula and no shortcuts to lasting financial success. But with patience and the mindset that every decision today can have a positive impact on the future, you'll be getting closer to your goal of financial freedom. That's why what Warren Buffett teaches us is more than just a simple financial strategy. It's a life philosophy. Invest in yourself, be patient, and have a long-term vision. By focusing on your personal growth and continuous education, you're building the foundation for a prosperous future. So ask yourself, what's the next step in your learning journey? What can you do today that will have a lasting impact on your financial future? These principles, when followed consistently, form the true recipe for financial freedom. With continuous education and a long-term vision, you not only improve your financial situation, but also gain the wisdom necessary to maintain your wealth and success. And remember, what Buffett teaches us isn't a secret, it's discipline. If you apply these principles in your life consistently and patiently, you'll reap the rewards later. Now that you've learned the 8 steps to getting rich with your salary, it's time to put these teachings into practice. It's not an easy path, and it's not about instant results. As you've seen, true wealth comes from smart choices made day after day, from investing in yourself, from taking care of your money wisely, and from thinking long-term. But here's the good news. You've already taken the first step. The simple fact that you're here, watching and learning, shows that you're on the right track. Now the next step is to make it happen. Don't wait for changes to happen on their own. The future you want is in your hands and in your choices today. Remember what Warren Buffett always says, the most important thing isn't how much you earn, but how much you save and how you make your money work for you. And the best part is that you don't have to be an investment genius to apply these strategies. All you need is discipline, patience, and the willingness to learn and grow constantly. Every decision you make now, every investment you make in your mind, and you